All right, everybody, welcome back to another album review. We're talking about Joe Satriani's Surfing with the Alien. Let me start with, this is the only artwork on this. That big ass Galactus hand, Silver Surfer. Love it right there. Right there, that hits me in all my good spots. I am a big Silver Surfer fan. Love the Silver Surfer. So, you'd think I would have bought an album called Surfing with an Alien way back in the day. Hell no. Tracy bought this for $8 back at some point before we got together. I've mentioned this in a previous review. When it comes to the G3, I am a Steve Vai guy. Tracy is the Joe Satriani one, and whoever the other third is in the G3, we split. Okay. This album released in 1988. My biggest complaint, no song track listing on the back. And the only reason it's a complaint is it's the same image on the back as it is on the front, come on. 10 tracks on this album. Some of them kind of blend and disappear for me. Some are really good. And some kind of throw me off and confuse me a little bit. So the album opens off with the title track, Surfing with the Alien. Decent enough tune. Don't mind it. But weirdly, that's not the song on the album I would have called Surfing with the Alien. It's actually track 3 I would have called Surfing with an Alien, because literally the guitar riff that's being played almost sounds like someone not saying, but if they were to sing Surfing with an Alien, like it hits kind of that pattern, right? Saying the word Surfing with an Alien, So I don't mind the track. Starts it off good, decent, gets it going. But then you get Ice 9 into track 2, and right away, this is where I start actually getting hooked and paying a little more attention. A little more beefier, chunkier, heavier. A little less on just the, standard shred. Really enjoyable. Crushing Day, which is track 3. This is the one to me, I think should have been called Surfing with an Alien. It sounds like while he's playing it sounds like it's saying Surfing with an Alien almost in parts. Or, it's got that rhythm to it, the flow of the wording, Surfing with an Alien. Really like this one as well. Got a good heaviness to it. Gets going, gets the feels. Track 4, I don't mind when the album's playing, but it doesn't stick with me. That's always with me, always with you. It doesn't do too much. Then we hit Satch Boogie. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been a huge fan of Satch Boogie. Given a choice between, say, Summer Song and Satch Boogie, I'll take Summer Song any day of the week. Satch Boogie isn't bad. I figured for Satch, a boogie would be a little more boogie. I don't know. I don't mean to sound like I'm talking down or talking crap about the song, because it's a good tune. It's just not as much for me as I would have thought. Hill of the Skull, once again, when the album's playing, not bad, but it's only a minute 46. It kind of, you blink and you miss it sort of thing. Circle, same thing. It's a little bit longer, clocking in at 3:27, but it's still kind of like when the album's not playing, I'm not thinking about it. When the album is playing, you kind of blink and it's gone. It just kind of it blends in with everything else at that point. Lords of Karma, I kind of dig on this one. Makes me pick up, makes me look at the, what's going on, what song, what track I'm on. Got a good vibe to it, a little bit heavier, good vibe, feel, getting into it. Midnight, another kind of shorter, you blink and you kind of miss it, and then you're into track 10, which is Echo. I realize I'm really kind of downplaying this really fast, but it's not. This is the type of album you put on for background music. If you want to have conversation, like right now, but I picked up my buddy Pat, took him to a job interview, and I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for him while he's in the job interview. This is the type of album we can play and have a conversation with while the album's playing. And you got this great continuous flow going on in the music that doesn't interrupt your conversation. but at the same time, you still got some good tunes going. The whole way around, would I recommend this album? Sure, why not? It's a good album, man. If you want to hear some good guitar playing, this is the album. But it's not going to change my perspective over whether or not I'm going to go with Vi or if I'm going to go with Satch. After listening, if I were to take this album and compare it to, say, Bad Horsey, which this has more tracks, but total time maybe a little closer to each other. Technically, Bad Horsey is just an EP, but this one runs pretty fast. If I were to compare the two, I really find that Bad Horsey would be the more innovative kind of album, even compared to other Steve Vai albums. I feel that other ones, like I believe, I don't know exactly when this is going to get posted, but the last Satriani album I covered would have been Cosmic Machines. And while I wasn't a huge fan of that because of all the techno parts to it and whatnot, it was more varied than this album is. It had a lot more playing around, different feels, different vibes, stuff like that. This feels more like, I don't want to say guitar masturbation, that's wrong. It feels like it was an album to put out to me, I don't know. I know I'm being way too rough on this album. Anyways, let me know what you think. Am I being way overboard, too rough? Drop a line, let me know down below. Once again, I do blame it on the fact that I'm just more of a Vi fan than a Satriani fan. I don't know. Rip me a new one in the comments, folks. On your way down there should be a couple links. Check those out as well, please and thank you. If you could also hit the like button, subscribe button, bell for notification, I'd really appreciate it. I'm really trying to hit that 200 subscribers. It would really help. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care, and I'll see you in the next review.